Hi, my name is Sofia Sanchez, and I live in Burton Judson Courts, more commonly known as BJ, and I'm part of Lynn Matthews' house.
Hi, my name is Branson Starr. I'm part of the BJ Residence Hall, and I live in Dodmead, which is one of the many houses here.
So, the interesting thing about Lynn Matthews' house and some of the houses here in BJ is that there are formerly two separate houses. There's a lot of houses that used to exist, but that no longer are part of the building, or ones that were individual and they came together. And I heard there's a little bit of rivalry with Dodmead, which was similarly a split house.
Probably one of the top reasons why students choose to live in BJ is because of the room. And once you become like a second, third, or even a fourth year, and you start to move up in any one of the houses in BJ, you start to have humongous rooms. It's almost like crazy how large these rooms get.
You'll mostly find singles if that's what you're looking for. You can find it here for sure. There's a couple of doubles, and they're also pretty spacious, also pretty big. They come with a desk, or in my case, I think most people, it was like two desks that you could put together however you want. A bookcase, and a big gigantic closet. I don't know why they thought we had so many clothes to bring, but they did. Even if you're in a single, just the house culture generally tends to make up for it. You'll definitely see a lot of people who are very, very close.
House culture is really large. It's really big. At least in Dodmead it is. For instance, as a part of Dodmead, every year we do Kuvia, or as we like to call Kengeko. And during Kengeko, we get just about half of our house participating on average for all 5 days. We have an obelisk, which is really interesting, because one year we did win Kengeko, but the people there decided that we didn't. It's a very large fiasco, which I'm not going to get into right now, but we made our own trophy, and now we have our own obelisk, and it's great.
There's other stuff. There's some secret traditions I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but it might involve Lake Michigan at the dead of night. I don't know, just saying. Maybe bring a swimsuit, because I definitely did not know that. There's really, 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 really nice study rooms. I think those have to be my favorite part of living here. And they're just so quiet, and they're an antique sort of style that you feel very, you're getting your stuff done. It's really nice. It promotes working.
Each house has its own personal lounge, which is honestly a little bit smaller compared to some of the newer houses. For instance, if you go to North, you'll be in a very large common space that's very modern, has a lot of amenities. And a BJ is much more of an apartment feel, where it's just a general living room area. We have what we call the pit, which is basically a lounge for the entire dormitory. And in the pit you have tables, couches, a TV. You have a ping pong table.
Big, 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 huge kitchen that's meant for everyone on this side of the courts to use. And that's really nice, because then you don't have to worry about waiting for space. There's a lot of countertop space that you could bring in your stuff, make a meal, make some stuff for the house meeting if you want to treat people to nice desserts. That's always a good thing. That's always a nice way to make friends. And yeah, we also have a big fridge. If you don't have, I personally have a fridge in my room. I rented it, and it comes in with a microwave, but that's only if you want to. If not, there's definitely a fridge in the communal kitchen where you could leave your stuff in there as long as you mark your name. Should be fine.
To get around, you either have to walk outside, which isn't too bad in spring and autumn quarter. Once it becomes winter, that can be an issue. And that's why we have underground tunnels, actually. So if I wanted to, I'm actually on the opposite side of the courtyard as the laundromat and the kitchen. So if I wanted to get there and it's -5 degrees outside, oftentimes I'll go to the underground tunnel and just walk there, which is really nice and convenient. Besides that, though, there are some other issues. There are no elevators in BJ, which can be a very big turnoff for a lot of people. And so if you do choose to go to BJ, this is what I would recommend. I would say get involved with the house, make a lot of friends, ask for advice, and just try to open up. But also find friends outside of BJ.
Hi, I'm Devon, and I live in Renee-Granville Grossman Residential Commons, or more commonly known as South.
Hi, my name's Watson Lubin, and I also live in Renee-Granville Grossman, or commonly known as South.
Hi everyone, my name is Delia, and I am a first year here at the college, and I live in Went House. In terms of house culture, I think Went House has a lot of first years, a lot of second years, not really a lot of upperclassmen, which is one thing that I kind of wish we had more of so I could talk to some people who've been in the college for a bit longer. There's also a specific Went House event coming up. So our founder, Greg Went, he always has a birthday party for his wife, Lisa Went, but they never attend. So it's just kind of this party just for her, but she never comes. But it's gonna be fun. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
The underclassmen could really find a home with the upperclassmen. I was just thinking about it, but we have a lot of second and third and fourth years who are always available and ready to talk with us to make us feel as though we really are at home and comfortable. And of course, because we can just talk about anything, I mean, that really goes into the homey vibe you have here in Janata House.
So in regards to the rooms here in Renee East, the rooms come with a couple of things that everyone has, like your desk, your chairs, your bed, of course, your wardrobe, your closet, and the shelves. So one thing I would say to keep in mind is that you can always rearrange the furniture to the different arrangements and throughout the year and even at the beginning of the year.
You could either end up in a single or a double, and of course there are additional types of rooms like suites or apartments.
I guess you could consider the rooms to pretty cozy. Our double is pretty compact. So our singles, I guess it's just like a preference for if you want to have everything kind of close together, be closer to the roommate, etc. There is also an adjustable AC unit in each room.
So in terms of the layout of Renee East, once you go through the elevators, the front door area, we have a security system based off of card scanning. We also have a commons area where it's basically a big living room for all the students to study and just kind of chill. We also have the big study room, which we live next to, Went House. And that's basically our study room.
So as you know, each house has dorm rooms where students live, but we also come with a lounge. And the lounge is the central part of the house, and each lounge comes with tables, chairs, couches, beanbag chairs, TV, video games. It's basically a place to either study or to just hang out with your friends.
Oh, and tangential to the really large lounge where our house council would normally meet, we have kitchens where our RAs and our RHs make sure that contraceptives are available. And of course, we have cooking supplies for people who do get a little homesick and will actually want to try out having some meals of their own. And of course, not just for the lounge being the place that's central, there are computer labs where you can find a more secluded place if you don't feel as though your dorm is perfect for studying. I know that I associate my dorm with sleeping.
And in the basement, that's where you have the laundry, the mail room, what else? The music study rooms. Yeah, and there's a lot of music study rooms, but I don't think they're really used that often. We also have a rec room, which a lot of people don't know about. So that's also in the basement if you can find it. It's a bit of a labyrinth, but I highly recommend going down there to explore when you first come in.
So when you first get into the dorm life, I do suggest that you go to practically every RA and RH meeting. You want to actually get a feel for everybody else in your house, and the only way to do that is to convene with everybody else when there are sort of mandatory events where you get to have food and vibe with everybody else. It's actually just the best way for you to find out how then you would specifically adjust to the specific dorm life that you happen to encounter.
Don't listen to everything you read on the internet in terms of house culture. UChicago has changed drastically from what you see on the internet to what is really happening on campus. So dorm culture has become this intermixing of different cultures. So there isn't really a weird, quirky vibe only in this dorm, or there isn't really we're all we're all normal people in this dorm. it's just a mishmash of people, and I think that's what the school was trying to achieve with the randomization of the students into dorms. So keep that in mind. Don't pass off a dorm just because it has a specific vibe.